Yo, what's up everybody? Geno here. Today I'm talking about Doom. Now, Doom, I've never played before, it's before my time, and I've personally never really been big into first-person shooters or third-person shooters, despite Call of Duty and Halo being some of the biggest games when I was growing up. So, I wanted to check it out for myself and answer this question. Does Doom hold up? Is it still as good today as it always has been? Well,
Doom kicks ass.
So, alright, obviously, I learned pretty quickly, Doom is sick. It's not at all overrated. If anything, it's actually underhyped. If I had to describe Doom in one phrase, it would be all killer, no filler. This game is metal as fuck. This game is jam-packed with the sickest, most intense gameplay I've had all year, all decade so far. I can't think of a game I've played that I've enjoyed this much in a long time. First order of business, this is a shooter, so let's discuss guns. You start off with just the pistol, but later you can find an upgrade, the chain gun, which uses the same ammunition type, but will fire at a faster speed. You can always find a shotgun, which will replace the pistol. This is the standard weapon for me. It trades off a slower firing rate to pack a better punch. I'll rate enemies off how many shots they take to kill with a shotgun. Next is the rocket launcher. These do serious damage to help take out tankier enemies, but you need to be careful. If you're not spacing out your target properly, you can deal splash damage to yourself and cut your health in half fast. Starting in episode 2, you can find the plasma rifle. This uses a different ammunition type and is similar to the chain gun in how it has automatic firing rate, allowing you to mow down hordes at a time. In episode 3, you can find the plasma rifle's upgraded variant, the BFG 9000, which is a super weapon that can one-shot bosses, and it's found in secret locations, but if you get your hands on this, you're sure to win. Lastly is the chainsaw, which is sick to run around slicing and dicing down demons, but it's not very practical, and oftentimes you're better off using the shotgun. Of course, if you ever run out of ammo, you can default to this, or your fist if you want to punch some demon's lights out. Next is the enemy types. First, we have the zombie men and the shotgun guys. These two enemies are hit scanners, meaning if you're in their line of sight, they will hit you, and it's a dice roll of how much damage you'll take. These guys can be lethal if you're up close and you're surrounded. Next up are the imps. They shoot fireballs from a distance and will claw you if you're up close, but their fireballs are pretty easy to dodge and you can manipulate them into hitting other enemies, which will cause infighting. Following are the pinkers. These shaved gorilla-looking demons will run up and chomp your skull. They are easy to outmaneuver, but take multiple shots to kill. Then, we have their invisible variants, spooks. They act the same as pinkers, but are harder to see, especially in the dark. One that gets a bad rap are the Skullingtons. They take 2 shotgun shots to kill, just like pinkers, and their move is a ranged melee attack where they charge at you. Some people don't like them, since being in a room with a lot of these guys can be overwhelming, but I never thought they were ever much of an issue. Lastly is the most iconic Doom demon, the Meatball. These guys fly around and shoot fireballs at you similar to the Imp, but they take quite a few hits to kill. They're intimidating at first, but when you get good, they're not that bad. We also have 3 boss type variants, the Barons, Cyber Demon, and Brainy Longlegs, but I'll get into them later on. This is a great variety of enemies, and they all act pretty differently, which brings great depth to the gameplay and affect how you will clear areas. If you enter a room with 3 mobs, a shotgun guy, an imp, and a pinker, what order would you kill them in? First, you take out the shotgun guy, since you can't easily dodge him, and they can do serious damage fast. Then, I'd go for Pinky, since while I'm dealing with him, I can manipulate the imp's attacks to land on him, and finally I would kill the imp last. This kind of thinking just becomes instinct while playing Doom. The game's pacing is too quick to sit there and think about it or strategize, so it just becomes a second nature. The level design in Doom is phenomenal, and you can actually go back and see who worked on each one. The base game is separated into 3 episodes, each consisting of 7 missions, a boss mission, and 1 secret mission, which in order to access you need to find a secret exit in one of the stages. Most of these missions are very compact and almost arcadey at times with how action-packed and replayable they are, aside from the longer, more puzzle-based maze levels. Every level is also riddled with secret rooms and treasure, which reminded me of Tomb Raider. I wonder if this is what inspired them. The story of this game is pretty simple, but that's a good thing. Not every game needs to be bogged down with cutscenes and dialogue. You start up Doom, and you're straight into the action. But if you read the manual, you can get a prologue to the game. You're a Marine, one of Earth's toughest. 3 years ago, you assaulted a superior officer for ordering his soldiers to fire upon civilians. He and his body were shipped to Pearl Harbor, while you were transferred to Mars, home of the Union Aerospace Corporation. The UAC is a multi-planetary conglomerate with radioactive waste facilities on Mars and its 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. For the past 4 years, the military, UAC's biggest supplier, has used the remote facilities on Phobos and Deimos to conduct various secret projects, such as interdimensional space travel. Lately, these teleporters have become unstable, turning military test subjects into zombies. A few hours ago, Mars received a distress signal from Phobos, describing something evil coming out of these gateways, and the computer systems going berserk. Soon afterwards, the other moon, Deimos, vanished from the sky. You and your buddies are sent to Phobos, and while you're ordered to secure the perimeter, you hear over the radio gunfire, combat orders, and bones crackling, followed by silence. Seems your buddies are dead. It's up to you. Episode 1, Knee Deep in the Dead. Taking place on the Phobos moonbase, these missions are shorter and less challenging than later levels. They were designed mainly by John Romero and are all perfect for setting the stage of Doom, often considered tech-based levels due to the sci-fi military-based designs. These episodes were the entirety of the shareware release of Doom, making it the most popularly played and memorable levels for many longtime fans of the game. Right off the bat, we have Hangar, which is such an iconic mission, and for good reason. Between its iconic song, the intuitive level design, visible secrets, and fair difficulty for being the first level. This mission is the perfect intro to one of the greatest games of all time, and it's followed by Nuclear Plant and Toxin Refinery, both very enjoyable levels. These start to introduce you to the lock and key style puzzle layouts in a very simple way. Toxin Refinery is my top pick for the best mission of Episode 1. It's got a nice layout, very iconic scenery, the difficulty stepped up a notch from the previous 2 missions, and there's just so many secrets and alternate routes through this mission. Every time I play it, I find something new. Another good mission that stands out for me is Command Control. It's a bit more difficult than the previous missions, and it's in the middle of the episode, so unlike later stages, the tech-based environment hasn't begun to grow old for me yet. Now, for my least favorite mission, I'd say Central Processing might be it. It's hard to decide because they are all very good, but this mission kind of dragged on a little bit long for me. The layout isn't as enjoyable as others, and I just feel like I'm running around a level, not really exploring an area. I do appreciate it being a different environment from a lot of the other stages on Phobos, since they're all tech-based and kind of blend together, but this one does stand out. It's just not as enjoyable as the rest. Now that being said, I still enjoy every mission in this episode, and they're all really close, so it's hard to distinguish a best or a worst. The bonus mission, E1M9 Military Base, is really good. Pretty difficult, especially for Episode 1 standards, and it's pretty short, which I appreciate. It also can be a good intro to enemy infighting if you haven't already figured it out by this point. For just the secret missions alone, I really like this one, but I still have to put it in third place. On the Xbox version, there's a second bonus mission, the Sewers, which you can find a WAD file for and play it too if you'd like. It was cut content before the official release in '93, and having played it myself, I can see why it was cut content. With all the pointless dead ends, it was dreadful to play through. However, with more polish and trimming of the fat, this has potential for a great addition to Episode 1, bringing some nice environmental diversity. Not that Episode 1 needs fixing at all. This episode is riddled with amazing level design, but the final mission, Phobos Anomaly, is insane. This mission has a nice short section before the boss room, which is what it does better than future bosses. And the Bruiser brothers aren't pushovers either. I understand why most people would like later boss missions than this one, but personally, I think this is the best of the original three. After Doomguy steps through the gateway, he's ambushed by a horde of zombie men. When he comes to, he's in a facility that resembles the Los Dimos base. However, it smells like rotten meat. It appears you're on the shores of hell, and the only way out is through hell itself. Yeah, this is when I realized Doom is not overrated. It lives up to the hype, and then some. Episode 2, The Shores of Hell. The first mission of Episode 2 is the perfect introduction. Aside from introducing a new gun, the plasma rifle, and also a new demon, the meatball, it's got one of the best layouts, nice lock and key doors that aren't too complicated to solve, good enemy variety, difficult secret bonuses, but also the setting change. Episode 1 is set on Phobos, but now we're on the demon-conquered Dimos, and everything is more satanic between the pools of boiling blood and upside-down crosses. Episode 2 has a few short and sweet missions, but most of these missions are starting to get longer and a little more maze-like than before. Now, at times it works in its favor, like in my top pick of the episode, Containment Area, which tends to get a bad rap. I think the more puzzly level design works really well here. I think this mission's layout has some great environmental diversity, and it's not too confusing to navigate. I enjoyed it on my first pass through, and I enjoy it even more on replays. Before I get to my pick for least favorite, I want to say an honorable mention. My first playthrough and many thereafter of Halls of the Damned, I hated this level. It's way too long, you can't see half the level due to being in the dark, there's Baron spam which just irks me, not to mention the beginning of the level starts off with force damage tiles, then there's this corner in the back with a bunch of different rooms that just boil my fucking blood. That said, after playing this level 8 or 9 times, it's gone from a D to a C. It started to grow on me a little bit and I don't hate it anymore, but it still has some issues. I don't like how you have to play it in a specific order that's counterintuitive to how you'd normally play it. That makes your first playthrough not fun, and your next 10 also not really that fun, but then once you figure it out, it's like, oh, you know, it's okay. My actual pick for last place is Command Center. It has a good start, but half the mission's rooms I just don't like, and I just refuse to go through. Luckily, this mission has a secret exit to E2M9, so I can just skip out early. And I don't really look forward to replaying this level ever. I never have. Now, E2M9, Fortress of Misery, bonus mission of this episode, is a super short bonus mission. You have one room full of barons, you have a second room full of meatballs. You get them to end fight. Very good bonus mission, short and sweet. I really like this. It's hard to say if it's better than Episode 1's military base, but the bonus missions in this game are just good. Lastly, Tower of Babel. It's very iconic. There's no preamble. It's just straight into the boss fight. This time, instead of Twin Barons, we got the Cyber Demon. Despite this mission being Geno, I still prefer E1's boss mission due to there being a bit of a level preface to the fight, giving it more time to build up. I think there could have been a nice multi-level tower you gotta climb up floors to get to the roof, fighting your way through the tower before the Cyber Demon encounter, but regardless, this boss fight is cool. You got this giant demon cyborg who shoots rockets at you. He's got the most health in the game, even more so than the final boss, so he can be pretty intimidating, and you are probably going to die. After slaying the ruler of the captured Deimos base, Doomguy peers over the edge of the moon, only to find that the base is floating above Hell itself. You've never heard of anyone escaping Hell before, but you'll make these demons sorry for screwing with you. You rappel down from the base onto the surface of Hell. Episode 3, Inferno. The next few missions take place in the wastelands of Hell, featuring multiple short but challenging missions. Hellkeep is very concise and utilizes being a first mission to its advantage, centering the challenge around using your ammo wisely, as it's pretty easy to run out due to limited supply. Following is my favorite pick, Slough of Despair, another mission that gets a bad rap online. After playing this mission, I loved how compact the design is, as well as how fast you can get through it if you know what you're doing. There's a lot of tight corners hiding various demons and zombies, and when you look at this map, the layout is shaped like a hand. I wish more maps would try to pull this off. Compact, challenging, cool design. I hear people say Phobos Anomaly is cool for being a pentagram, but Slough of Despair is worse because it's a hand? In fact, this might be my favorite mission in the entire game. Even better than all three of the boss missions and bonus missions too. This level is so fun to run through. I think the reason people don't like it is because it can be challenging, especially from a pistol start. I don't get it. This level's just fun. Following is Pandemonium, which is a great level. It gives a very frantic vibe, and you never feel safe in this House of Horrors style mission. Unholy Cathedral isn't necessarily hard, rather just annoying with its lazy layout, filled with pointless teleporters. I genuinely don't enjoy this level. I'd even go as far to say it's the worst in the game, and it could be reworked a little bit to be such an amazing level, but the way it is just makes it a pain to get through. Mount Erebus is another dog shit level, running around lava floors, opening up monster closets, searching for a key to get through this level as fast as possible and onto something hopefully less bad. In summary, it doesn't sound that bad, right? I mean, Doom itself is 1 part monster closets and 1 part key and locked doors. But the execution of this level's design just feels lacking. If you told me Mount Erebus was an episode 4 mission, first I'd say there's no Baron spam, but I wouldn't be too surprised because it just feels like it needs more polish to truly be complete. I will say it's better than Unholy Cathedral, because if you know what you're doing, you can run through it really quickly. Limbo, at first I hated as much as the last 2 missions. Most of the layout is force damage tiles you have to run across to numerous different teleporters, so you can hit a switch or grab a key. But with a few replays, this level started to grow on me, and now I don't mind it as much. It's a different kind of challenge, not one you can really appreciate at first. But when you understand Limbo, it's not that bad running around going, oh yeah, this is that one room, okay, I need to go over here and hit that one switch and come back. It's really not that bad. The bonus mission, Warrens, is fucking sick. It starts off as a clone to E3M1, Hellkeep. When you reach the Hellkeep exit, instead of the level ending, it opens up a boss arena to rematch the Cyber Demon, followed by a search for keys, and ends with a gauntlet of meatballs, an entire fleet of shotgun guys, and a couple barons. This level starts you off thinking, oh, it'll be a breeze, only to unfold into the most insane level of the game. Overall, this is by far the best bonus mission of the 3, followed by Episode 2's Fortress of Misery, and lastly Episode 1's Military Base. I'd even say this mission is second to Slough of Despair, but it's so close. It might be number 1. It's so tough to pick between the two. But this is how you do a boss mission. After making your way through the castle in Limbo, we arrive at Dis. Here we have the shortest boss mission. Again, like the Tower of Babel, there's no preamble before the boss encounter, and Spider Mastermind is a pretty easy boss to kill, especially if you picked up the BFG, which is easily found in the previous mission, so up close, you can one-shot this boss with it, or from far away, it only takes a few hits to take him out. People say this final level is underwhelming, and I have to say, they're right. If I were to rank the 3 boss missions, I'd put Phobos Anomaly first, followed by Tower of Babel, and this in last place. Now they're all good levels, but each one, especially the last 2, could just use a little bit more level to flesh it out, and create some build-up, some suspense, some tension, and they would be perfect. After kicking the Spider Mastermind's demon ass, you've proven to be too tough for Hell to contain. A hidden doorway opens for you to leave back to Earth, only to find the Hellspawn has followed you, and they killed your pet rabbit Daisy. Welcome to Hell on Earth. The end. Overall, I'd rank the episodes, first place going to episode 1 for being very consistently great, followed by episode 3. Despite having some stinkers, overall, this episode has some great levels. Some that are amazing your first playthrough, some that'll grow on you with replays, and of course, the bonus mission is peak. Lastly, is episode 2, which is still really good, but on average has less great missions like episode 1, there's no S tier missions like in episode 3, and it has a few missions I just don't really look forward to replaying. About 1.5 years after the release of Doom, and less than a year after Doom 2, a re-release of Doom 1 came to market called Ultimate Doom, which featured a new 4th episode. Episode 4, Thy Flesh Consumed. This episode is supposed to take place after the end of Doom, but before Doom 2, Hell on Earth. Before getting into the discussion of this episode, I have to say, I haven't beaten it on Ultraviolence yet. I tried, and the Baron spam was just too much for me, so I had to lower the skill level to Heart Me Plenty, which is medium difficulty, for now, but I do want to come back in the future and try Ultraviolence again. The first two missions, Hell Beneath and Perfect Hatred, are great levels. I really enjoy their layouts, but the enemy placements can be a bit much, mainly the Barons. M1 starts off with a gauntlet of shotgun guys, which others don't really care for, but I like it. I think it's a new kind of challenge, and I wish they would have had more of these throughout the game. But they also have limited resources, which, like Hellkeep, makes for a great first mission. Together, it's kind of bullshit, like an NES Ninja Gaiden game, but I mean that in a good way. This challenge is tough as nails, and you need to be even tougher to beat it. The Baron spam in these levels, however, I don't care for, since you're not really equipped to deal with them. They're kind of just damage sponges. The following stages in this level range from bland to forgettable until Against the Wickedly, which from a pistol start might be the hardest mission in this episode. The layout isn't the best at first due to the excessive lava floors, which I don't necessarily mind being implemented for failing at platforming properly, but in levels like this, Limbo, Mount Erebus, it all just feels like lazy design that needs more polish before the level's truly finished. The following mission is my pick for the worst stage of the episode, and Hell Followed. It's rather easy after numerous difficult missions, but going back to these wooden walls aesthetics is just ugly and painfully bores me. I can't get through this level fast enough. The secret mission in this episode, Fear, is a pleasant getaway from episode 4's stressful missions. It's not as difficult as anything else. The enemies are easy enough to handle from a pistol start, nice level design layout, simple search for the key. I really like the placement of the key in this one. Despite being as enjoyable as it is, it's hard for me to rank it. It's obviously nowhere near Warren's. I guess I'd maybe put it in third between Military Base and Fortress of Misery, but I think it would have to be in last place. It is good, but the other three bonus missions are just so amazingly good, it's just hard to compete. Lastly, we're at Unto the Cruel, the final boss mission. First off, this mission starts off with an actual level to run through and kill enemies in. Find a couple keys, grab a few guns, a good build up to the final boss. When you get to the final boss, there is a hidden BFG for you to cheese him with, but if you don't know about that, you can actually kill brain legs in a fun way instead. This is how you do a boss mission. My new rankings for the 4 boss missions have Unto the Cruel in first place, followed by Phobos Anomaly, Tower of Babel, and lastly, this. My ranking for episode 4, I'd like to put it between episodes 2 and 3. It has a few almost perfect missions, a few okay missions, and a few that still need some serious work, which is similar to episode 3. But I really appreciate the serious challenge it offers, even if it is a bit excessive at times. That is the point. That said, 3 is still better. 1 is still better. 2, I would put it above 2. It's a really tough competition though, since we're talking about Doom. The game it's just good. It's a high average game. In conclusion, yeah, obviously this game is awesome. One of the greatest of all time, and no, it didn't age. Doom is a timeless classic. In fact, it's the antithesis of games aging. It's old, it's outdated, it's got old graphics. You look at this game, yeah, that's from the early 1990s. That's some experimental hardware. But it's still, to this day, better than almost every game that's ever made. Like, any game that's come out in the last 5 years, name one that's better than Doom. I don't know, maybe Elden Ring? Like, it's tough. In 300 years from now, nerds are going to be on Mars talking about how sick Doom is. I'm really glad I checked this game out. All this time, I never cared for any shooter-style game. I ignored the popular series like Call of Duty, Halo. Meanwhile, Doom was here waiting the whole time, and all I had to do was reach out and grab it. I can't wait to see what else this series has to offer, as well as other games in the style like Quake, Heretic, Hexen, Duke Nukem, Sigil. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. If this video does well, I'd like to make more Doom content in the future. Thanks for watching.